Please open the scripture. Page 3. Page 3. The fourth line from the bottom of the scripture. The virtuous ones cultivate the virtues of Master Samantabhadra. This line of scripture explains that the assembly present all cultivate, following the Buddha's example. From this, it can be understood. Western pure is indeed the Dharma realm of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. No matter which land, which place, all sentient beings who are born in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss all cultivate the path of Samantabhadra. Our Honoured One has set the practice of Samantabhadra for us, set it most perfectly, most clearly. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, the great expansive Buddha from this understood pure bliss, flower adornment world. Not only is it the flower adornment world, but it is also the call of the flower adornment world, the essence of all the cities within the flower adornment world. This is something we should be able to understand and appreciate. The practices of the Buddha are infinite and boundless. In the sutras and treatises, the Buddha speaks of countless practices which are summarized into 10 categories, are 10 subjects. Within each subject are encompassed infinite and boundless Dharma doors. These 10 subjects are what we commonly know as the 10 great vows of Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. The first is to pay homage and respect to the Buddhas. The second is to praise the Tathagata, which I have introduced to you before. Today, I will introduce to you also. This one is very important, as we know there is no one in the world who does not seek blessings. Where do blessings come from? They are cultivated by oneself. Why practice giving and offering? Giving and offering are essentially the same thing. It's just in the intention there is a slight difference. We ordinary people, towards our elders, towards the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we offer. Towards our peers, towards ordinary people, it's called giving. From this we can understand that when offering, the mind is truly sincere and respectful. When giving, this respectfulness decreases. Sometimes there is no respect at all, and even a sense of arrogance arises when giving. However, everyone can receive blessings. Of course, practicing giving with a respectful heart is also practicing offering. Receive the blessings of the land, an exceptionally learned scholar. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva teaches us to extensively practice offering. You see it doesn't mention giving. Let us treat all sentient beings with the same respect as we would towards the Buddhas and Tathagatas, including all beings in the cold forest. These blessings are immense, and this is what we should learn. Sharing through giving can be divided into three major categories. These three major categories, usually we talk about three types of giving. The first type, material giving. All kinds of possessions one should be willing to give to all sentient beings if you can practice material giving. The result is wealth. We often see many people in society from wealthy and noble families. Doctors and elders. Those who have become entrepreneurs in today's society. They have substantial wealth. Where does this wealth come from? Do you believe it's all loaned? If they can earn it, why can't you? You say he's very lucky, but I think your luck isn't any worse than his. So why does he have wealth and you don't? Let me tell you the truth. This wealth is something destined. If it's in his destiny, no matter which industry he engages in, that industry will flourish. Any industry he enters will make money. It will lead to wealth. It is not your destiny that if someone gives you a bank, it will go bankrupt within 2 months. Why? Because it's not in your destiny. You need to understand this principle. Wealth cannot be earned. It's not something you can just make. It doesn't work that way. I've heard there are people out there publishing books on how to get rich, like secrets to wealth. Those are all fake. If you buy and read them, to be honest, he's the one who got rich. You gave him your money, so he got rich, but when you read that book, it's useless. If you follow his method, you definitely won't get rich. So everything depends on destiny. In ancient times, they said fame and fortune are destiny, what we now refer to as academic degrees. What kind of degree you earn from studying is also determined by destiny. When you become an official, how high you can rise is determined by destiny. Getting rich wealth you gain is fate. How is it determined in his destiny? It's past. If his past actions were exceptional, then his current rewards will be exceptional. If his past actions were lacking, then his rewards will also be lacking. So from this, we can understand that cultivating good causes is necessary to achieve good results. This is what Buddhism teaches us. Being generous brings wealth. Practicing the Dharma of giving requires intelligence and wisdom. Practicing the giving of non-action leads to health and longevity. Look at wealth. You want it, don't you? You also want intelligence, and you definitely want health and longevity even more. You want all three of these rewards, but you don't cultivate these three causes. Thinking about it every day won't make it happen. Praying to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas every day, even they don't have the power to give it to you. This is something we must understand. If the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas could grant us blessings when we don't have them in our destiny, then why would we need to cultivate anything? We wouldn't need to cultivate, just flatter the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas every day. Then would the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas give it to us? That's not how it works. No matter how much you flatter, it's useless. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are powerless to help. A help from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for us, what we usually refer to as their protection and blessings, is nothing else. It's just explaining these principles to us clearly, revealing the truth to us. We understand these principles. Following the methods given by Buddhism, we cultivate ourselves. Then we can obtain the treasures of a scholar. This is the blessing from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is their protection. By all means, we must not be superstitious. Those who are truly enlightened. Where should we place our wealth? Look at today's society. Investing in stocks, investing in real estate. I can't figure this out. I'm an outsider to this. Various methods to manage wealth. I've heard that in the past year or two, the economy has been sluggish. 1 million has turned into 100,000. Many people have committed suicide. The second blessing in the scriptures tells us that wealth is shared among 5 families. Isn't it yours? It's just being shown to you, and you actually think this wealth is yours. Truly, but that's wrong. You're the essence. The heart changes with the circumstances. Every day is unbearably difficult, like always. Who gave you so much suffering? You brought it upon yourself, truly reaping what you sow. Confused and deluded. Buddhism teaches us, how can one become wealthy? By giving. Offering. Offering to parents. Offering to the triple gem. Giving to all sentient beings. You will have the wealth you need. You won't lack anything. Remember this, everyone. As long as you have enough wealth, you won't lack anything. There's no need to accumulate excessively, no need for more, as too much brings disaster. Calamity will follow. That's why it's important to understand goodness. Confucianism also says to the extreme, one can be good. Being able to manage wealth is the mark of the wisest person. In ancient China, Chinese people also worship the god of wealth. Everyone wants to get rich, so they worship the god of wealth. But people in the past were wise. They were smart, skeptical. Who is the god of wealth? I've heard that now on the mainland, people worship the god of wealth, and it might have been influenced by Taiwan. In Taiwan, they worship the god of wealth and Guangong. What does Guan Yu from the Three Kingdoms period have to do with getting rich? Absolutely nothing. Guan Fuzi, I think his unique strengths are quite remarkable, not much related to traditional Chinese medicine. These 2 words, he achieved them. If we were to worship Guan Fuzi, Jadi loyalty, are truly unyielding in the face of power. not swayed by wealth and riches. He is a model for us to follow. Look at him during the time with Cao Cao. Cao Cao used every trick in the book, hoping he would truly surrender and be of use to him. But even though Guanfuzi was in Cao Cao's camp, his heart was always thinking of his fallen lord. He is the best example for future generations, even though he passed through 5 barriers and defeated 6 generals. To return to his former lord, Cao Cao still greatly admired him. Such loyal and righteous people are hard to find in this world. The Bhutan, they don't exist. Historically, they were rare. Today, people don't talk about loyalty. They forget faith for gain. If a place offers better benefits, they immediately switch jobs and leave. Such people should actually honor Guan Yu and his son. They should reflect on themselves and feel ashamed. So, who did ancient China honor as the god of wealth? A model. Those who read ancient books might know he is from the Warring States period, the minister of King Gujin of Yu. This king of Yu was quite remarkable. You all should know, throughout history, both in China and abroad, heroes and great figures, establishing a regime, founding a nation, is not truly difficult. Reviving a country after its downfall is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. It's rarely seen in history. After downfall, rise is not easy. So in Chinese history, King Gujin of Yu is the first example. He succeeded. Indeed, after being defeated by the state of Wu, he was able to revive. Able to take revenge again. Thanks to the help of Fan Li and Wen Zhong. These two were like his right and left hands, assisting him. They restored the nation. They eliminated the innocent. Fan Li was clever. After the great success was achieved, he advised Wen Zhong to leave quickly. King Gujin of Yu, this person, he understood very clearly. He could share hardships, but not wealth and prosperity. He advised him to leave, to preserve his own life. When King Gujin of Yu was in hardship, he valued these talented people greatly, but when the world was at peace, he no longer wanted them. He was afraid they would rebel. So he thought of ways to get rid of them, and thus Fan Li became famous. So he left on his own, leaving a letter for Wen Zhong in Wanzhou, who, after reading it, thought it might not be as serious as he said. As it turned out, it was just as Fan Li had predicted. Gujin ordered Wen Zhong to commit suicide, and Wen Zhong took his own life. This killing of meritorious officials. In China, almost every dynasty had this situation, killing meritorious officials. So Fan Li secretly ran away. He changed his name and identity. He changed his name to Dao Zhugang and went into business. He went into business with Shishi. It wasn't long before he made a fortune in business. After he made a fortune, he donated all his wealth. to help the poor, giving it all away. Then he started from small businesses again, and after a few years, he made another fortune. After making a fortune, he donated again. The historical records mention this as 3 accumulations and 3 dispersals. He was able to use wealth wisely and show kindness, which is a great example for business people. For business people, you see, the money earned from society should indeed be used for society. So it's very reasonable to honor him as the god of wealth. The model businessman. When we do business, our profits should be exemplary and serve as a model. He is truly clever, genuinely wise, and truly knowledgeable. No matter what he succeeded. So one must understand how to use wealth wisely and show kindness to all beings. In Buddhism, we talk about forming connections. If beings receive your kindness, will we face difficulties? No, we won't. If you run out of food, naturally many people will bring you food. See how carefree that is. If you have no clothes to wear, many people will bring you clothes. You won't lack anything. If you have no house to live in, people will give you a house. Why do you receive such rewards? Because of giving. You just need to focus on giving. Blessings come naturally. You see how carefree that is. So money. Don't invest. Don't put it in the bank. Nothing is reliable. Giving to all beings is the most reliable. It will definitely not be lost. And the interest from it is much greater than any business interest you can earn today, countless times greater. What I'm telling you is the honest truth. If you don't believe it, I am an example myself. Look at me. I give away everything that is offered to me from all directions. I don't carry a single cent with me wherever I go. Whatever I think of, people bring it to me. They offer it to me. It's inexhaustible. Look how carefree this is. This enjoyment of material life. Truly, it's as you wish. There's not the slightest lack. As for me, in my past life, I didn't cultivate. I had no blessings at all. When did I cultivate these blessings? After learning Buddhism, I understood this principle. That's when I really started to act. This method of giving. Master Zhanjia taught it to me. I truly practiced it, and it was very effective. I deeply believe without doubt. Truly believe, the elder taught me, that in the Buddhist path, any request will be fulfilled. As long as you are willing to give, whatever you lack, just think about it, and it will come. Someone will bring it to you. It's indescribably wonderful. Belly you. That was fixed, still quite rare. But there was a feeling. When I was studying, my life was very difficult. Very clear. Not something an average person could. The kind of life I was living. What was I thinking about? Scriptures. Because of studying the teachings. Thinking about scriptures. Once I thought about it, probably after a month or so, someone would bring it to me. I only remember there was one book. That took 6 months for someone to bring to me. That was the longest time. The book on Mahayana. I thought about it for 6 months before someone brought it to me. For others, like the Avatamsaka Sutra, when I first started learning Buddhism, I thought about it, and within a month someone brought it to me. Is it that any wish will be granted? As long as you seek it in a reasonable and lawful way, there is always a response. I understand this principle and the truth of the matter. And over the years, since I started learning Buddhism at 26, I've truly practiced it. What the teacher taught me, I really did it. The more I practiced, the more incredible the responses became. More amazing. So about every word and sentence spoken by the Buddha in the scriptures, have trust. If you can follow the teachings and apply them, you will help. This isn't about wealth. It's not about material wealth. It's not about food. You won't lack food or clothes. You won't lack clothes or housing. You will gain housing. It's very effective. Giving the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings and the eloquence without hindrance. This is something everyone needs. You need to practice the giving of Dharma. You need to practice offering. Leave nothing unoffered. The simplest and most convenient way is vegetarianism. From now on with vegetarianism, do not harm any living beings. Although in Buddhism, there is no encouragement to eat for longevity, the Buddha advises you not to take life. There is no obligation not to eat meat, because when the world-honored one was alive, the monastic community would go out every day to receive alms. The Buddha's teachings are based on compassion and convenience. When you go out to receive alms, you eat whatever people offer. Like in the Theravada Buddhist countries, now such as Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. They all eat meat. They eat whatever is given, without discrimination or attachment, and that's the right way. You should never ask followers to specially prepare vegetarian food for you. That's too troublesome and not good. If we talk about not being picky at all, then vegetarianism becomes very important. In modern times, with advanced technology, we've also visited slaughterhouses. But when I was young, in the countryside, they would slaughter pigs and sell meat. The butcher, when slaughtering the pig, would lift its ear and say, "Pig, pig, don't blame me. You are just a dish for humans,